Hey there, Gemini. Happy Valentine's Day. Welcome to your March 2025 Kabbalistic Tarot card reading. Vokaru real quick. Call upon thee, Iao, that thou wilt send Haru, the great angel sent over the operation of this secret wisdom, to lay his invisible hands upon these consecrated cards of art, that thereby we may obtain knowledge of hidden things to the glory of thy ineffable name. Amen. Alright, Gemini. I was almost not going to do this reading, but then I was thinking Gemini's coming up. It's Valentine's Day, your card's the lovers, and it just kind of fits. So here we are, doing your reading for the month of March 2025, Gemini. Okay. We'll be using 2 trees today as a spread, and 11 cards. So I want to introduce y'all to death, or knowledge. And basically what it is in the all, without death, that's your internal tree. With death, at the top of your tree, that's your external tree. Meaning, one is how you see yourself, one is how you are seen. I hope that makes sense to you. Or resonates. So yeah. If it gets too complicated, I'll just pull death out of there and we'll just do a normal Tree of Life spread. But I'm curious to see what shows up for you, or I should say how you are showing up in the month of March 2025. Alright, I'll cut the deck. We're using Thought Tarot. You got lovers at the bottom of the deck. How about that? Alright, let's do it to it. Okay, at the top of the tree in the all, you have the Aeon, or Judgment. In Wisdom, Gemini, you have the 6 of Cups, or the Pleasure. In your Understanding, you have the Root of the Power of Air, the Ace of Swords. Entering into your world of creation, hot expansive force or love, you have the Knight of Swords. And power, you have the 7 of Cups, or debauchery. Mild expansion into truth, Gemini, you have the Prince of Swords. In your world of formation, your victory is represented by the 5 of Wands. Your splendor is brought to you by the 7 of Discs. Your foundation is a nice 3 of Cups. Your manifestation, your embodiments in your world of participation is the Root of the Power of Fire, the Ace of Wands. And death, knowledge, top of your external tree, is represented by the 6 of Swords, or science. All right. Thank you, Spirit. And thank you, Gemini, for being here. Cheers. This is a curious looking tree. A lot of strange colors. Let's get into it. At the top of it, you have the Aeon, or Judgment. This is being captured by the spirit of a new age. One thing has ended and another begins. Not like death where it's over forever, but something has awakened something in you. There's a calling. You can hear it. Not a literal calling, but a metaphorical calling. An epiphany, if I didn't say that. Final decision being made by you to do something. Spiritual development, perhaps. Or something in that range. This is also another deck's represented by Gabriel, the voice of God, so you may be hearing the voice of God, Spirit, Source, whatever, especially since this is in the all, your pure awareness. You are being aware of something in your internal tree in the month of March. Something that's calling you to do something. An important decision, an important realization. What it is, I don't know, but you will. You will. Or at least you think you will. Once you do, I would go with your gut, Gemini. Okay. That expands into force or wisdom, where we have the Six of Cups, Lord of Pleasure. This is good stuff. It's sixes, or it's a six. A six is where you can start to feel the current of a thing, the current of change, the current of emotion, right? Oh, okay. This is where it is. This is how this goes. This is you finding your center. Okay? This is you having excitement about the future, enjoying the dance of life in the moment. Both Scorpio and the Sun are both energies of just being very present and aware of one's mortality. I'm just riffing here. Yes. This also could be emotional recovery, effortless harmony, and it's come from the Aeon here. So whatever you heard that was calling you has led you to a place where you are finding your center, where you're starting to see how things make you feel, how things make you feel good or not, where you have to draw from the depths and where you don't. You have good intentions here. Your wisdom is telling you to do something that makes you feel good, something that's not very hard for you, that feels effortless, and is helping you to heal from something. Okay? So that high expansive force consolidates into form, becomes your understanding. Becomes this, root of the power of air, the Ace of Swords. This card rules by divine right, it's in pursuit of victory, and it fears defeat, and it loves justice. Oh, it loves justice. It also represents communication, a decision, and a solution. In that order, I believe. It encourages you to clarify, understand, and then decide something, right? It's an ace. And aces are potentials given to you by the higher ups, right? I don't like saying God, so I don't say it. I say spirit a lot, source, what have you. But yeah, this is a gift from the divine to you. What you do with it is up to you. This is where everything with edges can be differentiated, okay? And this has come from pleasure, from the Six of Cups. So something, you doing something that makes you feel good has led to an offer, but you need to make sure that you understand what it is. And you need to understanding that this is going to require a lot of you, right? This is a great force invoked. This is intellectual interest. This is making a clear and sensible decision. This is magic. Those born against hair splitting or an approach that is too calculating. So don't be careless, but don't be too careful either. And yes, that's from Mighty Ducks, but it applies here, it's applicable. This is also underneath Saturn, which is inertia and time, age, respect, sometimes sadness, but it is form. So whatever the offer is, you'll know it when you see it in there, when you think it, when you see, oh, this is different, I can do this. I want to do this. I'll take it. Yes. Or you won't take it. Perhaps that's what you need to understand. Now, I usually go into death for myself after I've gone into the whole tree. But with you, Gemini, I want to go right into it because we're going down the lightning path and we're coming across it right now. So this is the head of your external tree. And this is, let's say, your face for the month of March, represented by the Six of Swords, Lord of Science. It's your second six. Again, sixes represent you beginning to understand the tide, or the flow of something, right? Oh, I see how this goes. I know what to do now. I can do this, right? And it's coming right after that Ace of Swords and right underneath the Aeon, the Judgment, right? Something called you. It felt good. You're understanding how something becomes different. And now you're becoming externally capable of something. You're capable of leading others forward, of forging ahead to a holistic perception, of experimentation and having fun with it. And it's time. It's time to move on from something, perhaps. And again, you might want to be, I'm not saying like be careful, like look out, but use all your energy and all your patience and all your cunning and all the stuff that you have, Gemini. The good stuff that you have, vitality, intelligence, curiosity, transmitting information. Use all that stuff. Okay. I hope that wasn't too complicated. Let's move on. Let's enter into your world of creation formation. I'm going to say world too many times, but in your Sephiroth of love or generosity, you have the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords encourages you to strive towards goals, move towards goals while being inspired by ideas. It does warn against theoretical considerations alone, and this is a person, and I feel it's you. There's a lot of Gemini in this card. This is the Lovers and the Hierophants, okay? So you expanding out, you're becoming someone who's problem solving, who's logical, who's inspired, right? And you just want to go out there and do your thing. However, the world might not be ready for you yet. You might be ready for whatever it is you're doing, but the world might not be ready for you just yet. I see a lot of disorganization here, but we'll get into it, all right? But you expanding out into your world of creation, that's good. That's good. You may not be ready yet for whatever it is you need to do or accomplish or feel or whatever, but you want to be, right? I feel like you need more time though, because there's no rush here. There's no rush. Knight of Swords is also eloquent, hasty though, right? Hasty. Take your time. If you can. If you're just expanding out, and that's how you show your love, and that's how you're showing up in your world of creativity, I think that is great. Let's see how that turns out when you consolidate that, what your form looks like in your world of creation. Seven of Cups. Oh no, right? Okay, this is a card that says, well, let's get into the sevens. All the sevens are, when you get into the tide, all right, I know the tide of this, I know how to do this. So, now we're in 7. We have a decision to make. Do we want to go with the tide, right, now that we know it? Or, okay, now that we know it, 6, 7, or maybe do we take a break? Maybe do we take a step back? Maybe we don't go on the trip any further. You are taking the form of the 7, so you are giving it your effort emotionally. This is leading you to wanting too much, being incapable of making certain decisions, but also learning how to differentiate between quest and addiction. What is it you want to do, and what is it that you just can't stop yourself from doing? There's no answers I can give you, but these are questions that you can ask yourself, that I would ask myself if I was you. So threatening calamity, illusory success. Something feels good, but deep down, in your Mars, in your survival, in your fight, in your struggle, in your frustrations, like something's just not right with this yet. Right? I want too much, I'm all over the place, and the more effort I give, the kind of stickier it's getting. Right? It's getting a little indulgent, right? So it might be time to be aware of that. All right, mild expansion into your truth or beauty, if you want to call it that. Heir of air, the Prince of Swords. Now, Prince of Swords is someone who's brilliant, who's genius, but is also scattered and can't really focus, right? Because he or she has three different he or she's grabbing his chariot saying, let's go here, let's go there, let's go there. Doesn't know what to do, has a million great ideas, doesn't know how to apply them, right? Someone who's in this kind of energy needs to be grounded. Go to your room. No, needs to be of the body, right? Needs to pick one and go with it. I really look like go to your room. The Prince of Swords usually makes progress by accident because he or she has to choose one of them, right? So now you expand out from the Seven of Cups, realize you wanted too much, and now you have a decision to make. All right, you have some good ideas, don't know which one's which, but you're going to choose something, right? Could be like that, a flash decision. I want to do that, let's go that way. Could be good, could be bad, but this is where you're at. This is your truth for the month of March. This is your perspective. I don't know what to do. And that's classic Gemini, right? Multiplicity of thoughts, no idea what to do. That's a good place for you to be. It's not a great place, but it's a Gemini place to be, if that makes sense. All right, let's continue. Let's move into the world of formation. Hot expansive force. Your victory. Brought to you by the Five of Wands. Now the Five of Wands is a card of uncomfortable meetings, of life's challenges, of stuff that's just hard, okay? Let's talk about fives for a second. Fives are, we have stability in four, something nice and stable that we've created in four for ourselves. And with the five, we move away from that stability into something else, into something that's unknown. It's expansion. It's scary. No one has any idea what they're doing. And this is a card of doing because wands are anything that is done. Okay? So you are doing something. In your victory here, you're expanding out from truth into your victory here in your effort. Something that is uncomfortable, that is hard. You chose something with the Prince of Swords that is ambitious and aggressive and is requiring you to risk something new, to face something, to fight, to battle, perhaps struggle a little bit. And it's under Venus. Venus is balance, harmony, relationships, unbalanced desire perhaps. So maybe you're fighting with somebody or fighting with yourself about a person, but your efforts are moving into a fighting kind of mode. And I really like that for you, Gemini, because you made a decision and you're going with it and you're sticking with it, and that is awesome. Okay, that hot expansive force in the world of formation turns into form. Now you have splendor, right? A little bit above, just a little bit above the efforts. And when you take a step back and look, you have Seven of Discs, Lord of Failure. Okay, I know, it's not great, it's an ugly looking card, I hate it. But it is what it is, and it has a purpose, so let's get into it. Again, sevens are when, after the six, you understand how something goes, you say, do I want to put effort into this, or do I want to step back? Seven of Discs says, you want to step back. Whatever you chose with the Prince of Swords, whatever effort you put into with strife, after it's done, or from a different perspective, from a certain point of view, you see that, no, this isn't what I wanted. This isn't changing the way I wanted it to. Unfortunately. This warns against clinging to something that is wilted, something that will not hold anymore. So don't do that. Don't stick to your guns if they're not loaded, so to speak. And I know what you're saying. How can this be splendor? How can this be nice? How can this be my form? How is this? Because splendor is supposed to be nice. And I know you're thinking that because I'm thinking that. The good thing to know is that Well, you can bring awareness to this. Okay, this didn't work, right? I stood up to the guy. I said, hey, you, let's do this, right? Whatever the challenge was. And maybe you got beat. And you're like, okay, just no more. Or maybe you decided to do something that was really hard. And you planted it and you planted it and you planted it, and it just didn't grow for whatever reason, right? This card says to redirect your efforts, right? It was a bad circumstance, move on. Not like the Eight of Cups, move on, but it's time to try somewhere else, right? It's a bad return on investments. It sucks, but now that we know, we can move on. Okay, Gemini? And you, I feel, can definitely do that very quickly. Not that you're a heartless robot or anything, but you're a quick thinker. And your foundation, everything you have, what this is all built upon is this. Three of Cups, Lord of Abundance, excuse me. This is enjoyment. This is being filled with deep gratitude. This is having fun with others, rapport, eating and drinking and dancing. Yay! Having good times. Okay, how did we get here? How did we get from fighting to that fighting being a failure to say stop fighting, right? And right in the middle here, you have abundance. Nice emotions, working together, passive success, platonic friendship. It's not the best, but it's pretty good. Very interesting. Yeah. All this is built around nice feelings, good prospects, contracts with good prospects, promising projects. Warns against distributing the harvest before it is brought in. That seems to be relevant. This is governed by the moon, your emotions, needs, your feelings, your psychic abilities. I feel like all this has to do with some kind of group of people for you. And I'm just guessing. I have no right to guess because it's none of my business and I'm not that psychic, right? I'm just here to bring the awareness to you in your foundation. This, Three of Cups. Let's talk about threes. Threes are after the twos, which are after the ones. The ones are the offer, right? The offer. And twos, you say, I'll take the offer. Let's do it together. Let's do this thing. Me and you, me and the divine, let's do it together. Yay! Three is when you've done so well in the two that you say, okay, let's bring a third in on it, right? Me, them, and the divine. I'll have a great time. In this card in particular, you have the pomegranates, which are a warning kind of to not eat them because you'll go into the underworld, but it really looks nice. And it is nice to a certain extent. You're letting someone in about how you feel. You're not fighting them. You're not fighting anything. You're not letting anything go. I mean, you are doing those things, but in the middle here, you're just opening up and you're enjoying yourself. Yeah, your middle pillar, judgment to the science, to the Prince of Swords. You're kind of all over the place here, and you are. But that's okay, because it's coming from a good place. Your foundation it has good intentions, and it's abundant. You have a lot of stuff. Okay. All this turns into something material in the world of manifestation or embodiment, or the world of participation. You have the root of the power of fire, the Ace of Wands. This is a card that without, there would be no other tarot cards. This creates all the other tarot cards, right? The Tree of Life. So much I want to say about this card right now. Oh my God. You can do anything you want with this card. This card says, here's the keys to the universe. Drive it. Do what you want. I don't know how you manifested this, but you did. You did. You can create anything you want. Anything can be done with this card. And it's real. You have it. And you're creating a lot inside. And outside too. creating opportunities for others, transmitting information for others. Warns against hot-headedness, impatience, and arrogance. Don't do that. Creation, invention. It's also a recognition that self-fulfillment requires a willingness to take risks. And what happens when you take risks? Sometimes they don't work out. But sometimes it's worth it to try. Your wisdom is telling you to do what makes you feel good. And you have an understanding of another offer from the divine. This is where everything can be differentiated. And this is where everything can be done. These two together, even though they're not together, but they're in the same tree, very, very potent. All right. Gemini, what I see here is you being called to do something, it feeling good, it leading to you taking some kind of action on an idea, or an offer, I should say. The world starts seeing you as someone who is a leader, who is progressive, as you are, and you start to become that person, and then you start to become a little addicted to that person. That person becomes a little bit much. And then you don't know what to do. And then you try to fight, struggle with that. And then you take a step back and you look and you see that none of that's working. Right? You had good intentions, you had great intentions and wisdom, but somewhere around power, it got a little messy. Actually, I would say it started to get messy in love, but in power is where it started to get messy, and in truth, Prince of Swords is where it started to get overflooded or overloaded by thoughts. Cloudy. So you try to fight it, took a step back in splendor, saw that that wasn't working, and then in your foundation, you connected with others. I don't know what you did, but you connected with others in a very loving way. And what you manifested was the ability to create whatever it is you want going forward. This is all you in March. If Dath was a little complicated, that's because it is. But I wanted to try it, so Gemini, thank you for being here today with me on Valentine's Day. Hope you have a great one. Hope you have a great month. And I will catch you in the next one. Much love. Bye-bye.